respected guest of honor, Mr. Anand Singhania, members of the Governing Council of Bhavan's SPJIMR, Mr. Deepak Parekh, Mr. Jagdish Lakhani, Mr. Yogi Shriram, the mentors and the founders of the family managed businesses which have gone through our program, our faculty, staff, alumni old and new, members of the media who are present here today, and guests. It is indeed my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to Viraasat, an event which celebrates the idea and the legacy of family managed businesses. So let me tell you a little about the family managed business program at SPJIMR. What was the genesis of this program? So I want to take you back in time 30 years. 30 years back, before this program started, the year was 1991, and I'm sure all of you will recollect what is the significance of 1991 for us. It was the year when India decided to move along the path of liberalization, privatization, and globalization, unshackling Indian businesses from the red tapeism and bureaucracy that had held it captive for almost 40 years since independence, since planning. Now, this was also the year, 1991, when a small fledgling institute, a business school by the name of SPJIMR, which was hardly 10 years in existence, decided to strike its own path of freedom. And the person who dared to defy conventions was Dr. Shrikant, late Dr. Shrikant, our esteemed, Honorable Dean, who felt that it was important to disaffiliate from the Mumbai University and no longer be part of the prestigious MMS program that Mumbai University was offering and that SPJIMR was part of. The reason why he dared to defy was that he held this strong conviction that this freedom is important so that we can decide our own course architecture, we can decide our own pedagogical innovations, and more than anything else, it was important for SPJIMR to offer management programs, not just the conventional MBA, but also management programs for the underserved segments. One of those underserved segments was the family managed business. The family managed business, which is the backbone of any economy globally, with 80% and more of organizations across the world being family businesses, was also the backbone of the Indian economy, contributing to the GDP, contributing to the employment, contributing to exports, but more importantly, also being the hubs of the kind of socio-emotional wealth which is required for a certain kind of social ethos, for a certain kind of socio-economic reality. And it was this belief and this conviction that prompted Dr. Shrikant to start a business program for family managed business science. Because what he felt was that the need for a curriculum which would be very distinct from a conventional MBA program which focuses on rigor and which is not so relevant for the family businesses because they require more of practice orientation. They require more of relevance. And so the Family Managed Business Program was born in 1997 with 16 participants. We have some of them. Sandesh was here lighting the lamp. 14 of these participants were from Mumbai. 2 were from Kolkata. This program, which started with 16 participants, continued in a certain format for about 10 odd years. So this went on for about 10 years, and the kind of interest and appeal that this program had led to this program being then expanded to 2 cohorts a year. Since 2012, we have had 2 cohorts per year. The program has seen more than 3,500 to 4,000 participants from across the world, not just India, but participants coming in from Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, who have gone through the program and who have kind of built family businesses across borders as well. Just as, you can change the slide, please. Just as any organization goes through a certain kind of growth and there is a decline, there are points of inflection. A point of inflection happened somewhere around 2014-15, when we had a change of leadership, we had a change of management. We had been given a strong legacy, and it was up to us to build that legacy even further, which we decided to do. So the legacy that had been already founded for the past a certain number of years was built upon by the new team with a whole lot of curricular changes which underwent a certain change. So we looked at the third phase of the program, which at that point of time was probably the weakest link. We decided to consolidate it. We put in place a set of 4 electives: retail, real estate and infrastructure, service, and manufacturing. The business and role plan, which was the capstone project, was already there. We built on that by introducing something called the Business Improvement Project course. The idea was the same as the goal which Dr. Shrikant had in mind when he introduced the program, which was to try and make the family businesses stronger, to know more about their own family businesses before they embarked on growth and scaling up. We also went in for global accreditations, because that is really the true test of whether you are competitive in a global arena or not. And so in 2011, we already had got the AMBA accreditation, which is a UK accreditation, stands for Association of MBAs. In 2018, we went in for the prestigious and very difficult Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, the AACSB. The FMB program today enjoys this dual accreditation of AMBA and AACSB. In 2023, we are going in for a re-accreditation. We are also trying to get the triple crown, which is the EQUIS. So once we have the EQUIS, the FMB program would be a triple crown program, and that is what we aspire for. As I said, we already had a strong legacy. We had faculty. We built on the faculty strength. Currently, we have more than 35 to 40 faculty who are people who come from the SMEs, who come from a background in family businesses, teaching in our program. We also have, change the slide. We also have built this entire idea of improving the relevance of the program and making the program globally competitive by taking the program across borders, by providing our students the global exposure. So in this year after COVID, we have signed up with some of the globally reputed business schools to offer an immersion for 2 weeks for all the participants who go through the FMB program. FMB 32, some of whom are here today, will be going to Babson College in Boston for 2 weeks for an entrepreneurship boot camp, which will have participants from all over the globe. Similarly, FMB 33 would be going to another globally reputed European business school, Polemy School of Management. So these are some of the things that we have done. Serendipity also struck when COVID struck, because Mumbai was closed and we could not have had classes in Mumbai. We then discovered the power and the potential of influencing practice, which was the mission which Dr. Shrikant had held for the institute, which continues till date. And how do you influence practice? You influence practice by looking at businesses in the tier 2, tier 3 cities. How is it that they are flourishing? What are the kind of constraints they face? And how do they continue to be resilient? So serendipity, which took us from outside Mumbai to go and have our first offsite contact in Ahmedabad, kind of goaded us, guided us to try and look at other such immersions. We now have partner schools across many cities, and our participants have traveled to Srinagar, where we had a tie-up with NIT Srinagar. We went to Indore, Delhi College Business School in Indore. Coimbatore, we had the Kumaramangalam Kumaraguru Liberal Science College tied up with us. We went recently to Dehradun, where the Petroleum University in Dehradun was our partner school. Classes being held in these institutes, in these cities, and in the evening, we would then invite the alumni, we would invite the local industrial associations, organize industrial visits for our students to the local entrepreneurial and family business units, so that our students learn, grow their networks, and are able to contribute to a better and more resilient India. We have continued with the foreign industrial visits, which was again a legacy which we inherited, but now instead of one foreign industrial visit, we have industrial visits based on the electives. We have continued with this whole mission of trying to influence not just the family, but as Dr. Shrikant said, make it a learning community. So a whole set of initiatives which we have put in place, which include things like a leadership lab, which is an outbound. We're looking at ADDAs, which are peer-to-peer learning exercises. Confluence, which is a consulting competition, a very unique consulting competition where FMBs work together with other members of the business school, the MBA, the full-time PGDM and PGPM programs, and have them consulting on the life problems of the family businesses. We also have our very own Fest, which is #Dhanda, industry in the classroom, roundtables where participants sit with alumni and with industry experts and do an open deliberation of sorts. We also try and influence the senior generation through organizing workshops for the mentors. So these are the mentor-mentee workshops. Family Fridays, where alumni like you have been contributing, and of course the samagams. So all in all, the point that one is making is it's a 25-year of building on legacy and improving on the legacy that one received. As the Center for Family Business and Entrepreneurship, which was constituted as early as 2022, as just about in 2022 by an amalgamation of the Center for Family Business and Entrepreneurship, we have also tried to strengthen the learning part. So we are members of the prestigious STEP Project Global Consortium, a body which comprises business schools who are teaching family businesses and researching family businesses with the purpose of strengthening transgenerational entrepreneurship. We've also come up with a white paper, a report, which was very well received by the industry. This was the India State of the Family Business Report, which we put out in December 2022. In April 2022, we put out a report on inflation and how it is affecting the SMEs. So our intellectual knowledge creation continues as the Center for Family Business and Entrepreneurship. We are also trying to improve the community of the family businesses through other initiatives like Vriddhi, which you will be a part of in the second half today. We're trying to encourage the entrepreneurship ecosystem, trying and seeing what are the kind of synergies that one can leverage as the Center for Family Business and Entrepreneurship. So all in all, the message is very, very strong. You need to build resilience. You need to build sustainability. You need to build an organization which will continue with or without people, right? So it is for you to build that kind of a legacy. It is for you to build and foster that kind of legacy. And at this point of time, I would like to read out a small passage from Dr. Shrikant's speech in 2008, which is captured in the book Conversations. He says, I often tell our team that at the end of the program, we must take a blood test of the participants and compare the same with the test when they joined. And there ought to be substantially increased levels of people and money sensitivities in the blood. To succeed in family business, indeed, to succeed in any business, it is very important to first have the business acumen and then to have the people acumen. So on this note, I hope that Dr. Shrikant would smile at the legacy that we have continued. I wish you all a glorious Viraasat, and here's to the family business and the entrepreneurship ecosystem.